Hi everyone, my name is Sam. I'm here to talk to you about feline declawing. I already did one take of this video and it got deleted, so you can see my claw marks here from trying to show you how to cut my cat's nails. So now that I've cut already half of them, she's definitely not going to be a happy camper when I try to show you again. So, and she's locked in my room, so if you hear things, that's why. So declawing started in the early 1950s in America, and by the mid-1970s, almost every cat in an American household was declawed. A lot of people do it because cats ruin furniture, drapes, cats ruin everything, really. And a lot of people are afraid that they would be violent towards their children or even just towards them. A lot of owners don't realize how bad declawing is. And when I went to go get my cat, I was in the mindset of, should I not? I don't really think it's going to be a big deal, but then I started reading up on it and realized it is a horrible thing. Like, it's scary, really, if you think about it. There are four main ways that veterinarians will declaw your cat. One, they will essentially take a scalpel and go across the first knuckle. So it's equivalent to just cutting this off. The second way is it's called the guillotine method. It hasn't been used for like 25 years, so it really doesn't even play into anything now, but for little background, they would take, like it sounds, guillotine clippers and just clip the whole thing off. But they don't use this anymore because it would cut the underside of the cat's toes, their little toe pads. It would cut them and it would get infected and it would just be really bad. The third way, I think I said there were four, but there's only three. The third way is called the deep digital flexor tendinectomy. What this does is, instead of taking off the bone, they take the ligament that goes to the bone and they cut that back. So the cat can't, the claws still grow, so the owner will still have to cut them, but they can't, like, they can't retract, they can retract. They can't go into anything. They kind of just sit there and hang. So if you're going to do something, if you're going to declaw, and I'm not going to say it's humane because it's not, and it is still painful, but it's probably the least inhumane way to do it. But the way that we cat lovers would like you to do it is not declaw your cats at all. So there are four main ways to do this and for alternatives for declawing surgery. The first way is cutting your cat's nails, which, as my wounds can tell you, is not always fun. It's easier to do it when you have two people. One holds, one cuts. But it is not as difficult as a lot of people would make you think. A lot of people think because cats have, and dogs, all animals, have that little, it's called a quick under their nail, and if you hit it, you're told like it bleeds profusely and everything. But I have, when you buy your little scissor kit, a lot of them, mine comes like this. You get your scissors and you get your little holder. It comes with this little thing. And I've only had to use it once in the 4 years that I've had her and been cutting her nails. It's this little, like, powder. I don't know if you can, yeah, little powder. It's probably expired by now, honestly. But it's supposed to stop the bleeding. I hit my cat's quick once when she was a kitten because she was freaking out, and I clipped it, and it is not that bad. It didn't even bleed that bad. She didn't even care, really. She kind of just licked it a few times, and I put the stuff on it. She didn't seem to care. It didn't really faze her that much. Even if it hurt her for a week, that's 1 week of pain versus a lifetime of pain. Because declawing, I didn't say this before, but declawing causes arthritis because when a cat usually walks, it walks on its heel. It walks like with this kind of weird thing. I have a visual aid for that because my hand isn't working. But when a cat is declawed, it hurts to walk on the wounds from declawing, so they start like walking on the flat of their foot, which isn't what cats usually do. I'm going to show you on a tiger because it's easier to see than a house cat because they're so tiny. But a lot of like circus animals and stuff are declawed for trainer safety and stuff like that. But you can see this is how a normal tiger should look. See his feet, how they have like this normal kind of stature to them? That's what it should look like right here. Right here. That foot. I focus on that one because you can see just the perfect arch that it has. That's what a cat foot should look like. A declawed tiger looks like this poor little guy. See how flat his feet are up here? The glare is horrible, you can't really see it. See how flat it is? That's what declawing will do to a house cat, a tiger, a lion, anything that's declawed. That's what it does. Instead of walking like this, it hurts them so they walk at a weird angle, and it causes arthritis within like 4 or 5 years of being declawed, and for the rest of their life. It gives them feet problems, leg problems, back problems. It hurts every part of them. And a lot of times it'll, like, immediate effects of it, it'll hurt so they won't want to dig in their litter box. You're going to find messes outside of the litter box, and if the cat doesn't have the cat's claws are its first line of defense. If it doesn't have that, it's going to start biting you. So, I mean, pick one. You want biting, you don't want either of them really, but a little visual as to when a cat is declawed. You take off the entire nail bone. So you're not just taking out the nail, and you can't just take out the nail because, like a human, it'll grow back. I mean, it'll take a little while, but it will grow back. So you can't just take the nail out. It's not going to work. So back to the alternatives. There's 4. The clipping that I talked about, and it goes hand in hand with a scratching post. A lot of people don't think of a scratching post as helping nails, but it definitely does because it keeps them more, kind of acts like a nail file. When you cut the nails, they are left kind of rough, and a cat will use a scratching post or furniture if you don't have one to kind of, file them back down and make them smooth. And the third alternative is training. A lot of people think it's impossible to train a cat. It is not impossible. It is very difficult because they're extremely stubborn, but it is not impossible to train a cat. My cat goes to the bathroom on the toilet, at least she does sometimes when she feels like it, because I felt bad and I gave her litter box back. But she uses the toilet. If I could train her on that, you can train a cat to do anything. So let's say your cat is not declawed and it's clawing the furniture. What I would do is you need positive reinforcement, like treats, which, I mean, any animal you give it treats and it's going to work, probably. Probably, not all the time. I would put, if the couch is here, I would put a scratching post here, scratches the couch, and you spray it with a water bottle. You put some orange on it as negative reinforcement, so you know, and then when it starts using the scratching post, you give it treats as positive reinforcement, kind of stuff like that. You Google it, you'll find a million ways to train a cat. It really is possible. The fourth alternative, which I find completely hilarious, it is called soft paws. I didn't buy any because they're expensive and I don't use them. But they're like this little tiny cap that you put on the cat's nails. It has this glue. A lot of people have their veterinarians put them on because it's a glue and you don't want it to get anywhere else. It's like a really, really like heavy duty glue. And you put the glue inside the soft paw, and you put it onto the cat's nail. Like it goes like a little sleeve on it. And it adheres itself to there for 6 weeks as the cat's claw grows. And when it grows, it'll fall off after 6 weeks, and you put new ones on. So what this does is it protects the sharpness of the nail, so you're not going to have your cat ruining anything or scratching you or whatever, but it can use the scratching post, it can dig in the litter box, and it's not going to hurt anyone. So if you don't want to cut your cat's nails, you're afraid of it, or you just don't want to be bothered with it, that's probably your best alternative. It is expensive, so, I mean, there's that. But, so I'm going to get my cat now. She seems to have calmed down. But I'm going to try to show you how to cut a cat's nails. Okay, so this is Olive. Olive is not declawed. I'm going to try to show you her claws. So this is what a cat's paw looks like, just normal. And then when you squeeze it a little bit, the claws will come out. So she's probably going to attack me a little bit. But we usually do this with two people. Usually my mom will kind of cradle her like this, and I will come on top and just trim her nails. And yeah, she's not having this again. So what you would do is preferably have two people. You take your scissors, you take the paw, and you squeeze it so a nail comes out, and you just trim it. It doesn't hurt her. It's just like cutting your own fingernails. It does not hurt her whatsoever. I tried this before. I held it up to the camera and you couldn't see it. But, yeah. The difference between the nail and the quick. You can kind of see it gets a little pink back there. You can't really see it. It's kind of hard to see just to the naked eye too. But, as you can tell, well, you probably can't tell, she's a happy cat. She has all her nails. Cats have 5 in the front, 4 in the back, so there's 18. You have to cut them you can do it every week, but you really don't need to. I do hers about every 2 weeks. But it is easy. And you get a little kitten, or not even a kitten, you just get a cat, and you love it, and you want to give it a good home. Don't rip its claws out. If you're going to worry more about a couch than an animal, you probably shouldn't get the animal. So, just look at your little kitty in the face and think about her little claws, or his little claws, before you declaw your cat.